Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? It's Alexander Hilly123 here, and it's time for a new video. And as you can see from the title, as you can see from the screen in front of you, today I'm doing a little experiment video. A lot of people who are playing these old Football Manager games are doing this now, more so than me, and in more interesting ways than me. You don't have to work hard to do this, you just need patience and a bit of time. Basically, I've holidayed all the way up until the summer of 2024, nearly 20 years, well, exactly actually, 20 years after this game begins in 2004, and just seeing who will win the league and any other crazy bits and bobs. Trust me, I've seen some crazy shit, I'll tell you that right now. But I'm only showing the Premier League in 2024. I only did this with the Premier League England, I should say loaded, because otherwise it would have taken quite a bit of time. Now obviously these older games run very fast on a modern system, which is really cool. But yet and still, I didn't want to spend ages doing this. I don't have the ability, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, to show you Spain, Italy, Germany, France, etc., etc. I have taken many different screenshots, which by the end of this video, you will see. I am just going to be on microphone for the first half of this video. The second half of the video, I think I'm going to put some old FIFA 95 Mega Drive music on whilst you guys watch the screenshots, the photos. I would advise watching this in the highest quality you can and going full screen, because some of the screenshots are not great in terms of the quality, and you know there's a lot of small text with these old Football Manager games that were never meant to be on a widescreen system, made on a widescreen system, or viewed on one I should say. But yeah, I've got lots of things, and I've also got a bit of a special bonus thing where I picked out my dream team from the classic 4 Football Manager games. That is indeed it, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're looking at Football Manager 2005, 6, 7 and 8 and seeing who they think will win the Premier League this coming season, 23-24. It's just a bit of a silly video, an experiment video, and like I say, I've seen some crazy shit. So let's get into things. I'm using OBS here to help me record this. Hopefully it won't just crash like it sometimes does for no reason. But there I am. That's me as an unemployed manager. Been an unemployed manager now for 20 years. I think I need to get into a different profession. But ladies and gentlemen, your 2004-2005 Premier League champions, Manchester United, as you can see there. This was actually Jose Mourinho's first season as Chelsea manager, and they won the league. Now, I'm just gonna, look at this. There's no left or right button, so you have to do 2 clicks to get to the next season. So, because I'm nice, what I'm gonna do is painstakingly allow you guys to see every year. Now, you might be wanting me to slow down here, because I know what it's like being an old school veteran Football Manager player. If you haven't had access to these games for a long time, you've not seen them, you might want to drink this all in. Well, maybe you should put the video on 0.25 commentary, not commentary, just general speed, I should say. So I talk like that, and so it'll go slower and you can see it in greater depth. I'm not even looking at the tables here. Now we're 10 years into the future. I'm not actually looking, because I know that I'll get distracted and I'll be talking loads of shit. Oh my god, such and such a thing happened. I don't know what year it was, which Football Manager it was, but obviously now they don't say year there, do they? There's just left to right and changes year that way to save you a click, basically. I've just seen Tottenham Hotspur winning the league, but now we're getting to the COVID football. We've got rivals, Manchester United and Liverpool sharing blows there. Newcastle, though, the money's in, Saudi money's in. Newcastle win the league, but the next season, there we have it. Oh my lord, and there's a lot of teams who aren't even in the Premier League. So unrealistic, Football Manager. Doncaster, never been in the Premier League, but they're actually pretty good if I remember correctly on this game. There are certain teams and certain iterations of these older Football Manager games that, the devs just thought would do well, and obviously sometimes they do, sometimes they didn't. Get it right, But it's cool to see. Sheffield Wednesday, they haven't been in the Premier League since this game was released. I think 99-2000 or 2000-2001 was their last season in the Prem. Brighton ended up coming up. Coming up. What the fuck? They're in the Premier League like they are in real life. I think when this game was made, this is when they nearly went out of existence. So, yeah, they're getting relegated. West Ham, Everton, Coventry back in the Prem. Sunderland 04-05. I don't know if they... Let's have a look. Was Sunderland in the Prem 04-05? He said he wouldn't get distracted, and here he goes. No, they're in the Championship. Time of this game's release. Birmingham were in the Prem. Southampton were in the Prem. Newcastle were, Villa, yep, Arsenal, Man City, yep, Chelsea, yep, Portsmouth were, Blackburn were, Leicester, I think they just got relegated, I don't think they were, Tottenham were. There's not that many changes. Now, obviously, what we've seen in prior years, yes, there have been, like QPR, Millwall are in there, Oxford are in there. But even Doncaster and Brighton, that particular season is a very old school Premier League season with the teams there. Wigan, this was the year before they went in the Prem. In FM06, they'll already be in the Prem first season. But yeah, not too unrealistic. They bought well this summer. And Football Manager 2005 is saying Liverpool are going to win the Premier League next season. Man United second, Tottenham third, Leicester fourth. Blackburn Rovers back in the Prem. Portsmouth, Chelsea, City having a bad season, 8th. But yeah, some crazy things going on. In the second half of the video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you the winners of the FA Cup and from every season, winners of the League Cup and from every season, the Champions League, the UEFA Cup. This is mainly predominantly about the Premier League, but give you guys a little bit of bonus footage. But now, let's move on to Football Manager 2006. Okay, hello there, ladies and... I'm saying hello there, ladies and gentlemen, like it's the start of a new video. What can I say? Force of habit. I'm so damn used to doing that. But where are we now? YouTube's 2006. That's what I named this as. We're now in 2024. Let's see who Football Manager 2006 says is going to win the Premier League. And I realise that just as I recorded that, and I'm going, oh, all this jeopardy. Who won the Premier League 2024? Well, you'll only find out right at the end of this segment of the video, and at the top it says, Holders Liverpool. So you always knew. You always knew. Oh, well, let's do it straight away. Let's find out. And it's the same situation. I'm showing a bit of shock, though, because obviously I've ran this, so I do remember. Well, I forgot, but I did know at the time. It's been a few weeks. This has taken a bit of time, guys, to do with 4 Football Managers. I'm sure you'll appreciate that. You know, this has been quite some time coming. 2 years in a row, Bolton Wanderers got relegated in the first season when they used to be, you know, a tough Premier League team to play against. Yet again, if you want to see the evolution of the seasons here, guys, please feel free to stop the video and have a little butchers for yourself. 0.25 speed. Put this in 720p or 1080p, whatever the highest res is, and have fun. I'm not getting distracted here yet again, like I said. I'm not going to have a look too good, but I'll let you guys in a bit of a secret. The two teams, shouldn't really be telling. Nah, you know what? I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. You're going to have to watch the whole video and find out. I'm seeing a lot of Arsenal, though, here. A lot of Arsenal indeed. By the way, this is the chameleon skin on Football Manager 2006. This is my favourite. Even though the metallic 2006 is just like the 2005 skin, but even better. Yet again, no jeopardy. It says Holders Liverpool there, so you already know. But very different teams this time round in the Prem. I don't think I saw Watford at all in Football Manager 2005. I might be wrong. Preston, they're good on this game in Football Manager 2007. Still never been in the Premier League in real life. Norwich, Lincoln City, ladies and gentlemen. West Bromwich Albion, Portsmouth, Man City, Birmingham, Middlesbrough, Newcastle, Crystal Palace in there, Sheff Wed. And there. Wolves, Leeds back in the Premier League. Didn't see much of them in FM05, I don't think. Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Everton is second, and Liverpool winning it. The two Merseyside teams fighting it out there. It's like the bloody 80s. But, yeah, interesting. Yet again, 2 titles in a row. Football Manager 2005, 2006. I'd say the best teams are Arsenal, Chelsea. Just about who tend to win it. It was during the period where, you know, at Man United, Rooney and Ronaldo are a bit young, and Van Nistelrooy left this season, I think, from Man United, and Chelsea was just, that team was so strong, and Arsenal was still so strong, but yeah, Liverpool can win the league in this game, but it's not as expected as the other 3 teams. But there we have it. No real point in showing you guys the squads. I believe, especially with 07 and 08, there might be a couple of real players still in the game, but most have now retired. Just so you guys know, this is the last iteration of Football Manager where these players here, Daniel Medina, this was a real player. I don't know if it's like it had to be a Mexican player, or it's just like he could change. Like Danny Young, this might have been a Brazilian player, and they've changed him. Might have been Ronaldinho, but now he's midfielder, left centre, but now he's Danny Young playing for England. I think it might not work like that. I think it has to be an English player. But yeah, the old regen system, it wasn't as good as what it is now, and that started in Football Manager 2007, where it's a legit new player from scratch. I don't know how that technology exactly works, and I think they've modified it a few times since then. But yeah, I'm not going to painstakingly look through each squad. Oh my god, Petr Cech and Tim Krul, look at that! What the hell? 36. Look how good this skin is, man. Isn't it nice? I just like seeing the grass. It's so bright. In the newer games, everything's so goddamn dark and purple. Or black. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Liverpool, can they make it 3 out of 3? Find out in Football Manager 2007. Okay, here we go. It's Football Manager 2007. And this is a slightly different skin than the default Football Manager 2007, even though the default skin is legendary for this game. People love it, but this skin is just so damn good. I'm actually going to do you guys a favour. Everyone knows about, I mean, I don't know if that FM Underground... Look at the name of this one. YouTube's 07, the Ultra Hard FM. I find this game very hard. I'm not that kind of guy. I mean, look, I'm an old school Football Manager fan. The newer games are a bit easier in my opinion, but this one kicks my ass and I don't like it, and that's why I'm calling it out. Not really got a problem with the other ones. Football Manager 2005 is a bit draconian. It's a bit old school in its approach for sure. But 2006 I love. 2006 is my favourite. It really is out of these four. But yeah, 2007, obviously I've got a bit of a problem with it there because I'm insulting it. But, where are we? Oh, yeah, this is the goal skin from FM Underground, I'm guessing, at the time. I've got an Italian website, though. I'm going to link it in the drop-down box. Now, obviously needless to say, if you attempt to download from a website that I give you and it gives a freaking Trojan horse or something, then you can't blame me. You know, I've got Malwarebytes browser guard, it's very good, and a good antivirus. I've been downloading some certain FM files off the website. It's absolutely been fine. Now, you can translate into English, obviously. It's an Italian website called panos.it. I'll link it. The big Football Manager fans, I've seen their Twitch page where it's a group of guys who've been together a long time who talk about Football Manager, very big in Italy. It's really cool what they do. Got some other skins here. And this is obviously the default Flexion skin. I was always going to go a little bit left of field during this video, but here's the default skin. But I want to put it to this gold skin because I actually prefer it. I think it's really nice. There are a few other ones, but to be honest, I'm not that keen on them. I've also got the logos in this game, unlike FM or 5, 6, and even 8, I think. Any players there who... So these are all legit real players now. Chris Dunford, contracted to West Brom, just won his first England cap at the age of 28. Congrats to him. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Oh, Scott Carson's still in the net. I just noticed as well, because when I record these videos, I just listen to them back straight away, just to make sure the audio's okay and there's no potential issues. I noticed that I think it was Liverpool in 05 or 06 had Freddie Adu in the team and someone else, Michael Mancien, who is a young defender at Nottingham Forest a long time ago, I think. So they were real players. I didn't even bloody realise. Anyway, here we go. 23-24 after 2 consecutive Liverpool wins. They've made it 3 in a row, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. Look at this skin. It's goddamn gorgeous. And now, as you can see, an addition here is it shows you what competition the teams are in by finishing high up the table. Let's go back and see the evolution. This is where I recommend you guys to watch in 0.25 and make it full screen, because a lot of the small text doesn't come out well on YouTube regardless of how you record this footage. I'm using OBS, of course. I'm not going to get distracted too much, and I don't know why I keep telling you guys the same information. I stopped the video And then I'm remembering, yeah, Alex, you're clipping these all together and upload them in the same freaking video. Stop telling people the same info. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. Creature of habit. I'm going to have a look at the table. Chelsea. Once I get towards the end, I allow myself to start looking. You aren't going to believe, ladies and gentlemen, what happened in FM08. Hold on to your hats, because something big is going to freaking happen. And I'm talking about a big team getting relegated. I'm actually talking about 2 big teams getting relegated. Seen Tottenham on this game specifically get relegated a few times before. And of course, if you go into 30, 40, 50 years into the future, then, you know, even more so, you'll see crazy things and big teams getting relegated like that one. Oh my God. Villa and Newcastle, obviously big teams that had been relegated from the Premier League IRL. Everton seem to have some kind of voodoo thing where they just can't get relegated in real life because they always escape on the last day of the season the exact same way. But even they've gone now, so that's absolutely crazy. There's a lot of people probably watching this who thinks that it won't be that crazy because they've probably gone this far into the future many times in these older games. But it's still fascinating to see. But here we have it, the 23-24 season. Football Manager, yet again, is saying Liverpool to win the title. But look at the top of that table. That is crazy. So different from the previous 2 games we've just seen. It's less of a traditional feel. Tranmere Rovers are in the Prem. Never happened before. It's been a long time since they were even in the Championship, I think. Halifax. Holy shit. Swansea ended up getting into the Premier League. Charlton, West Ham. Look at Arsenal. This is just before the Man City money, by the way, so they're a mid-table team here. Traditionally, Leeds are in the back in the Premier League. Tottenham. Luton. They got it right. They got it right all along, Luton. In the Premier League this season. With Kenilworth Road. Where do you see where the stadium is? Is it Kenilworth Road still? Oh, look, it says Luton Stadium. They've got a new stadium, I think. Or maybe it was just called Luton Stadium back then. I don't know if somewhere along here you can actually find out. New chairman there, 2006, right at the start of the game. All right. Blackburn, Cardiff ended up getting into the Premier League. Man United. West Brom in 7th, Chelsea in 6th. Preston, very good on this game. I've seen them in the Champions League before. I think it was in this save, actually. Bolton in 4th, Reading in 3rd, Birmingham in 2nd, Liverpool in 1st. Now, let me just have a look back here. Yeah, there's Preston in 3rd. That is madness in Tings. Absolute madness in Tings. Villa, yo-yoing. Huddersfield, they were actually in the Premier League, 17-18. Something Football Manager got right again. But it's a treble. Ladies and gentlemen, dare they make it a quadruple? Join me for FM08, and this one's the craziest yet. Alrighty, Football Manager 2008. Let's see if Liverpool can make it an incredible 4 out of 4 in terms of Premier League wins. And I can't help but notice here that Frank Lampard is under pressure at yet another club. In Football Manager 2008, he's under pressure at Aston Villa. There he is, over 100 caps for England on this game. Don't know how many he got in real life, but let's have a little butchers. Unfreaking-believable. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise you, this is legit. 4 times out of 4. Football Manager 2008, just like the 3 before it, have said Liverpool to win the 2023-24 season. I mean, it could potentially happen. Like I said, they made some good signings this summer to the midfield. But this is totally unanticipated for me. Before I did this, I didn't make a prediction because it's very hard 20 years in the future. But it's not just that. Like I say, my memory is a bit hazy because I recorded these like 2-3 weeks ago and to holiday. I think I've idled about 6 hours on each game. I'm not home for 6 hours each day and able to, necessarily just holiday these games. So it's taken a bit of time to do this, or I've forgotten things. But even not just this 23-24 season, but like the subsequent seasons after. This is the era of the Jose Mourinho Chelsea era, and they usually dominate, and they haven't during any of these simulations. Arsenal and Liverpool have been the predominant teams to win the league in the first 5 seasons of the game before all the regens start taking over. And Liverpool have been the team in the ascendance more so than anyone else. In this game, it makes sense, really, because Fernando Torres is amazing. But I'm so surprised. But I could do this again. And, of course, Liverpool not even win one single title. It's just the way that it goes, because there's so many different variables in terms of the managers that... Is that Troy Deeney? No. just the different variables, what can potentially happen. Now, as we can see, we've got real new gen regen faces. I think this is the first iteration of the game in which they're a thing. And ladies and gentlemen, 16 years, he's a real player, 16 years after this game, these regen faces are better than the ones that are in the newer games. If you don't know, guys, Football Manager 2005 is going to have a new UI, new interface, and a new graphics engine as well. It's going to be very interesting indeed. We'll have to wait and see how it happens and what it looks like. But let's just have a butchers at the table and the evolution of the Premier League since the save began. I'm not getting too distracted and looking up and down the table. I can do that when the video ends. Like I said before, I'm going to say it again, 0.25 if you want to have a look and maybe have a look at your team, or if you're interested in a yo-yoing team or something you've spotted that's crazy. There's, you know, I could record this all day and I could show off different footage, and then someone will say, why didn't you why didn't you show such and such a thing? This game, for some reason, it's asking for the disc, actually. But I can actually play this one without the patch. Some people can't. But the 8.0 patch does work. Now, you might have already seen it, but ladies and gentlemen, in 2023-24, how do we go? There's no easy way for me to get to the championship here. I've got to type it in. Disc needed edition. Yeah, I need the disc for some reason. I don't know why. Coca-Cola Championship back then. Manchester United, ladies and gentlemen, got relegated in 2023. Everton are in there again. And Chelsea are closer to frickin' League One than the Premier League. I just can't believe this shit with a real Jack Cork in there. Is that where he started his career? Yeah, he did. And look at that. Many loans out. And he's been a proud servant of the club. As they've, you know, declined and been absolutely atrocious. Chelsea, I'm so intrigued. I'm not going to, but they've been so bad. I remember them winning all the titles in FM 06 or 07 and 05. Old and back in the championship there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is the thing, right? I've gone and done this on a medium-sized database with only the English leagues added. So obviously, there isn't going to be that much in terms of regens coming through. But I've noticed, and this is the same with FM09, because during lockdown, I actually did a season, played the game for about 10 years, and I had a large database with about 6 or 7 leagues added, and there still weren't enough regens. But with the older games, there are more regens, even though it's the old regen system where it's not real it is real players just under a different name instead of an entirely new player. But if you go into the under-18s here, you'll see that look at the size of these squads. It is Leicester City who have won the championship, and there's not really that many teams. If you have a look at a good team here, Newcastle finished second. I think they did well. Yeah, they won the league 2021 or 22 in FM 07, if I remember correctly, from about 10 minutes ago. But yeah, if we go have a look at look at that. It's making fake players. And it would still be doing this even if I had a bigger database. This is the last thing you want. I've never understood. Well, I do understand it, of course, because you want a realistic experience and realistic simulation, but I'd rather have too many regens as opposed to not enough, because not enough is going to break the game. It's going to be trash. Here's Guy Ashlin, legend of these games. Sometimes he makes it, sometimes he doesn't. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because some of these older FM games, you have players that just have careers where they play shit constantly, and somehow they still get into top teams. And look at this from Guy Ashlin. He's never even got 7.0 in his career. It's very strange. But here at Siena, this is more his level. He's assisting 14, 15 a season. Very peculiar. There's just certain games in the franchise where the average ratings seem a lot lower or higher than other ones. People love this version of the game. Oh my god. People love this version of the game, but honestly, I think I prefer 06 still. And in terms of the best balance of the game, if someone said to me, pick 2 FM games to play forever, I'd choose one of the old ones. I'd pick 06, but I'd also pick a 12 just ahead of 11. 11 and 12 are the best balance. There's a bit more depth. You can tweak the training if that's your thing and shit like that. You can talk to players and build them up when they're young. For example, look at Steve Deeney. Goodness gracious me, he's good. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Who saw that coming? 4 seasons in a row, Liverpool win the Premier League. But I am now going to stop this video. You are going to hear some music, which hopefully won't get copyrighted because it's from FIFA 95 on the Sega Mega Drive. And I might find some other random game music because I'm scared of copyright. And what you're going to see is my dream team right at the end of this video. Don't take it too seriously. It didn't take me too long to do. And I've gone for primarily big players. It's a 25-man squad, 11 starters, and then like 14 subs that I'd have between Football Manager 2005, 6, and 7, and 8. Tell me yours in the drop-down menu. Hope you enjoy this video, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Just to tell you guys that before the Dream Team is shown, it's actually going to be loads of statistics from 05, 6, 7, and 8. It's the exact same statistics, but across all 4 games. This isn't about the Premier League, but I'm sure if you love all Football Manager, this will still be really interesting for you to see.
Right.